Hey everybody, it's Erin Reed and welcome back to my video about my little mini book. I make these little mini books every year for my family, one for each side of the grandparents, like a recap of the year of the kids and my husband and I. I am using this Wild Whisper Forever and Always paper pack, and the unboxing video is at the end of the video, so you guys can check that out and see all the beautiful papers. And I just loved all the different colors of the peaches and the greens and the blues and the pinks and the grays and the browns, and I thought it worked really well for both masculine and feminine. So it just worked. It worked really awesome. So yesterday, if you want to check out the video from yesterday, I made this book. We made these little flip flat books. They are so cool. I love it. Of course, my daughter saw the pink one and went, I want that. I said, fine. So I promptly made another one in gray, which these things are so easy that they are very fast to whip up. Once you know what to do, which is all in the video from yesterday, it really takes about 8 minutes to make this. So fast. And so I built this one last night, and this is what we're going to be doing today. And as I was building this one, I went ahead and cut up everything I needed and pulled all the supplies for this book. So first thing I did is I put down a little bit of white cardstock. I matted it down to give so you can still see that nice big border of the color that I already picked for the background page, which is that kind of peachy tone. And you can see it like in the flowers and stuff. I just think they're so pretty. Then I took a little piece of chipboard, glued that down, and then I'm just applying my stickers. I did not have any more stickers like this. I was missing letters in that. So since this one was gray background, I went with a black, and this was a peach background, I went with gray. But it all works. And I'm leaving all my chipboard raw because I like the color of it with this whole thing. It works. I didn't want to, sometimes just leaving it as is awesome. So I'm just going to really quickly take it out of the plastic because it gets really loud on camera, and just pop in my 2018. So I have been making this little book for both sets of grandparents since my first son was born, and he was born in 2006, but he was January of 2006. So the first book I made was actually 2006 for that Christmas, and it started off being a year of my son. And you know, the first year a baby is born, there's so much that changes that I went with it. And then the next year I did it again, and it's morphed into so many different things. And I cannot apparently talk and look for a numbered sticker at the same time. Go figure. All right, so here's 2018. Unfortunately, the zeros got kind of, oh, there's a better zero. I'm gonna use that instead. If you don't have stickers, you could totally write this in. I have the stickers, so I'm gonna use them. I'm kind of in the mode of I have all this mess, so I'm going to use it. I have all these supplies. Why make my life harder and not use them? Anyway, so the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this little flower in the corner. So then it morphed into, I had my, you know, there was more than one kid, so I couldn't just do a book about one child. I had to include a couple of children in there. And then it became, well, the first few books were 20, 30 pages long. It was like little mini books, little mini scrapbooks of them, and I got all into it. And then it just got so time consuming. And then I had more kids, and the amount of time that I had just did not exist. You know how it goes. So now it's turned into something like, it could be a single picture. So it's just like whistling at me. It's turning into a single picture. I mean, it's morphed into a few different variations. And every year I try something different. Sometimes I've done it as like a wooden plaque. So they're fun. I like them. And it gives something, both grandparents have like this little basket or there's space where they have these things, which I think is kind of fun. All right, all I'm doing is I'm adding a little bit some flowers here. I do want to add glue to these flowers because I think they just hold a little bit better. I've got one here in the corner, kind of capping here. I'm kind of pushing it down because it keeps popping up. The flowers have so much dimension in them that they're kind of pulling apart. And that's not the look I'm going for. I want it to be like sunken in. And then just one little bud here in the corner. Again, all these colors I'm pulling from are in here, which I think is awesome. All right, moving over, open it up. And here we can see we've got the layers. Like I said, I already pre-cut everything. So let me pull out my supplies that fit for this page. All right, so for the first two flaps, this is what I've got. I'm going to ink the edges. I did not ink the edges for everything on this one, but for this one, I'm going to. I don't know. I may not for some of the pages, but I just feel like it's a little too white in some sections. The other thing is that this already had a ton of gray, and I couldn't find another really good ink that was nice and soft, and it fit. All my other pale pinks were dried up, and I just didn't have the right colors. So I kind of left it after a while. So I'm just going to layer this in here. Look at that. So one of the pages in the paper pack has all these beautiful sentiments in it. And so I just went with it and I used it as one of the key pieces. Obviously, I couldn't use the same sentiment in both pages. So I just changed it up. Love never fails. Well, it's about family, so of course. And live for the moments you can't put into words. I love that. I love that little phrase. So then we have this opposite side here. Every single paper in here, I cut down so you really could still see quite a bit of the outline of the page. I made really large mats for everything, and I think it worked out really well. I just like the vibe of that. So I wanted to pull another piece of chipboard. I can't talk today. And look at that. Look how pretty that is. On the previous one, it was a little bit, this was a pack of 2 and one's a little bit bigger. So I just snipped this little bottom piece off. You wouldn't even know it's missing, but for this one, I can put the entire piece down. So it works out nicely. So it's similar, but different is how I look at it. For this, I'm going to run this straight through my little sticker maker here. So just going to pop it right on through. There we go. Turns it into a sticker, makes my life easier. If I could do this with all the chipboard pieces, if I could do that with all the chipboard pieces, but some of them just don't fit in there. And now my entire chipboard piece is one giant sticker on the back. Super easy, and then just stick it down. Ta-da! This could also be something you could give somebody as, it's kind of a weird present to give to somebody, but it's one of those, you give them everything ready to go, and then they just assemble it. So I pre-cut all the pictures. I got everything organized. Here we go. For this one, because it was such a big picture, there really was not much we could cut off without cutting off my ear and cutting off the side of our heads. I didn't bother putting a mat on this particular picture because it just didn't work. And then I, on this book, put a work sticker that said family, but on it didn't only had one of those. And this is just seriously an old sticker pack that I had. So I found this love one and it worked as well. So this one is getting the love treatment. This flap right here, since I'm here, is this sheet. I'm totally just copying my other book. I spent all the time figuring out what I wanted to do for the other book. So why reinvent the wheel and do something completely different? To me, that doesn't make sense. I'm not going to rethink through this twice. That's just too much. All right, on this page right here, I have this fun little chipboard piece. So this one goes right here, just on the white background. It looks super elegant. But since I'm going to go ahead and do this piece, I want to make sure I get this in straight because it's just going to barely fit. So I'm going to run that piece through. I have another chipboard piece I'm doing, and it says nice. So I'm going to run that through. I have another one that says beautiful. I have another one that says smile. So I'm just running all these little pieces through. I also have 2 little strips here that it's kind of a pain to get your tape runner on. So I'm just going to ink them real fast and run them through as well. These little strips right here actually came from the bottoms of the papers. So sometimes when you get a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, at the very, very bottom, they have a barcode, and it's a little piece that you cut off. And sometimes on the back side, the side that doesn't have the barcode, they give you little pieces that you can cut out and use. So this one said it was always you repeated 3 times. So I cut it out twice and I'm able to use it. This one was just a set of diamonds repeated all over on the page. So I'm going to pop both of these in, turn them both into stickers. Look how simple that is. Tear that off. And now when I need to use one of these, I can just pull it off of the sheet. All right, so here's my first one. Lay this down. Boom. Easy peasy. Then is my sun on the inside right here. So I've got this sheet, again, inking it. So this is one of the sheets where all the little, what I call project life pieces are on there. But I just loved the look of the burlappy section on this with my son. I just think it works so well. I also have his picture. Let's pull that out. I'm not inking the pictures. That I am leaving alone. And for this one, I think I'm going to pull it a little bit more off the side. I did not decide to put this smile on here until later on in the picture. So otherwise I would have done that because I feel like I'm just barely squeaking this in. So I'm going to pull this one off. And now I've got some more room for this to fit. And it feels like it fits a little bit better and it's not crowding him. Story about the cat. This cat has adopted us. It's so cute. Oh, I forgot one strip. Shoot. So this cat, we have dubbed it Oreo. Can you tell why? Because it looks like an Oreo. Was abandoned by a family in our neighborhood. Apparently there was some young adults, freshly married with their cat, moved in with mom and dad. Young adults moved out and left the cat behind. The parents, the older parents who lived in the neighborhood, didn't care for the cat, so kicked the cat out. Cat didn't know where else to go. Sweetest cat in the world. If you can tell, I'm just doing a little bit of some layering here. Oh, forgot to put adhesive on that. Smart, Erin. So for 3 years, this cat has been around the neighborhood, comes by, and everybody feels sorry for the cat, but the cat has definitely turned into an outside cat. And here in Texas, we have some pretty nice weather. A lot of people leave the garage doors open, and everybody really loves the cat and will come and sit in your lap. I mean, it's really just a sweet, sweet, sweet cat. And as you can tell, will sit in your lap and is super happy to be there. And so on cold days or really hot days, people will let the cat come in the garage, and we're not the only ones. There's probably about 10 different houses that feed the cat. Everybody takes turns taking the cat into the vet to get shots and to get it, take a look at, and it's been neutered, and I mean the whole thing. So it's really become this amazing cat, and it comes and hangs out in the backyard, and it's great. So it's one of the best pets you could possibly have, because you don't have to worry about, oops, wrong picture. If you go to town, that you've got to find somebody to watch the cat, because the whole neighborhood watches the cat. It's great. So somewhere in this book, I had to include the cat, and my mother actually got this photo of my oldest son and the cat together. I am not putting names on any of these pictures, because I already said it's the Reed family, and if you're going to look at this book, you're going to know who these people are. It's going to the grandparents. I think they know who the people in the book is. That's my assumption here. So on this one, I am pulling this little sticker nice. For the other, I'm gonna make this a little more linear. For this other one here, I actually had one I had already colored, and it says cool. It works, so we're keeping it. Okay, now we're gonna open this up here, and these 2 pages get the script. Now, to make life easy, I'm just gonna go ahead and ink all the pages real fast and speed through that for you. All right, so I got all my layers inked and ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and put down the first one. So these are just little panels. I love the words on these. I thought they were so cool. I'm just layering these down. It was just a whole bunch of words, and it said something about, you know, love and family, living happily ever after. You really can't tell what it is, but you have these words, like you can see happily, forever, love, you know, and so those little spots of words. I just love that little kind of intro to stuff. On the inside, I have the kids. A little commentary about that. We have a water park in our town, and it's one of those giant big water parks. So it's got all the slides, it's got 10, 15 slides in it. And a lot of people in our area end up getting season passes to it, which is not a bad deal if you go more than once. So I think if you went twice, it paid for itself. So this was our very first day this year. We don't always get it, because you know, some summers we're just a little bit more busy, and then I feel like if we're going to get the season pass, we got to go a ton to make it worthwhile. I'm not going to waste the money on buying a season pass and go one time. That's kind of silly. So I think we went like 10 times this summer. It felt like we didn't even go to our local pool, like our community pool, that much, because we were so busy doing everything else. Oh, I screwed that up. Oh wait, doesn't matter. Originally I had, just to show you where I screwed up, what I mean, originally I had the floral pattern on the outside, on the inside I had the words, so I'll just flip-flop it. But you know what, it doesn't matter. I do like having the same pattern on both sides. To me, that's kind of fun. If I had, so it's like you open it up, you can see like the window, and it all works really well. I don't like having one piece, like I like these being the same, because they're almost like columns that you open up. You could totally put other pictures and stuff here. I just kept it very simple. I wanted the main pictures to shine and not be kind of foofed up by other things. It just got to be a bit too much. So I really tried to use every single panel that was in this book as something fun to see. Here is my daughter. I totally did not mention anything about my other son on this. My daughter, and at her dance recital, she had such a blast. She loved it. She thoroughly enjoyed being in the dance. Oh, I was going to do something different here. So I'm dropping this down. I have the little diamonds that go up at the top here. and it's like a little banner up there. So it's like the diamonds on the diamonds. And then this beautiful sticker. On the other book, I had the word pretty works. Beautiful, pretty. And this is now empty. Throw it away. And my last panel here is the flowers. Yes, because I have not shown that. I think, well, maybe one other spot has this background. I think I had it as a background somewhere. No, I guess that's the only place I use that. I love that one too. Huh, go figure. There it is. I kept seeing it repeated over and over. I thought I used it more than one place. All right. I do want to add this element right here. I just think that's so pretty, right? Especially right against my daughter. But it's a little too long, so I just need to snip it up. So I'm going to grab the scissors I don't care too much about because I use them for silly things like this. It's 1 square too long. It looks funny if I shortchange it, so I just did not have enough to put it in the other book. So this book gets a little something fun. There we go, just like that. Just a little bling right there. Then I also have this blank. Now, I did have a white one. I don't know where it went. It's gone. I keep hunting around my desk for it, but I'm not going to waste time. So inevitably, I will find it probably 10 minutes after I stop shooting the film. But I also pulled the blue, and the blue looks really pretty. So I'm going to be using the blue bling. The other one is just crystal clear. So truthfully, I don't use the color ones as much because you got to match the color just right. This blue works great. So I'm just adding a few little pieces just right here in the corner. I like the trio. I'm also doing from largest to smallest. So I'm cascading the sizes from small to large. And then I'm going to come in, little plastic piece. I don't think I want to add anything to these. Some of them I'm just leaving very plain. I can do some to this. Since I did it on the bottom over there. And if you have the entire book open, I think I have this misaligned just a tiny bit. There we go. Pop this up in the corner right here. It's just a little hint. And since I pulled on this and tugged on this, I've lost my adhesive. I love I can just pop a tiny bit of adhesive back in there. It's great. And there it is. Ta-da! Super simple. And do I want to add any, oh, right here. I'm going to put some right there. And this one I'm going to line up in the center. And maybe I'll do 3 big ones in the center or something different now. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Oops, stuck to my finger. There it is. It's a great way to use up little gems. Just a little hint of something. Almost looks like it's a door now. You can open the door. Okay, so how does the book actually line up? Well, truly, it doesn't matter how I rearrange this, it's going to work. So if you would want to, I chose not to. I was debating last night, do I want to have like some ribbon to tie this closed? And I thought, no, I want this just to be like a book. So you open it up, here it is. And if I flipped this way, it would still work. It's kind of leaning towards the other direction because that's the way I've been kind of holding it. Oh, got some little schmutz on there. It's okay. So it could go either way. Same with this page, this could go this way too. It would work. It does not matter the order. I like this little piece in front of my daughter though. I think that's kind of cool. And then you have the opening flaps. You could totally add more to this book if you wanted to, but I did not want to make this too super huge. I didn't want it to be bulging. I didn't want it to be like doing this number. So I didn't add too thick of some elements, and I was careful not to add everything too heavily on this side. At least I think I didn't. I think I did a pretty good job of arranging maybe a tiny bit. These 2 pieces, no, because that comes in there. So look at that. I did think about ahead of that. And then I kept everything pretty linear. So I'm super happy with my little book. And hopefully all the grandparents will fully enjoy their books this year. And I am leaving the back plain. So just leaving it as cardstock because I'm afraid it's just going to get damaged. Because you're going to see the front and then you're going to open it up and take a look at it. Supply links for everything are going to be down below. If you want to check out the unboxing video for the papers that I use in this, it is coming right up. So stay tuned. Oh, so they're so pretty. I love it. Little banner at the bottom that says kind of all that's on there, but look at the gorgeous colors in this. Made in Canada and photo friendly. I love that. So forever and always, here we have a single sheet of, look at this beautiful watercolor front. On the flip side, oh, it's like wine glasses. So gorgeous. Then we have these diamond papers. Oh, look at that. It's got a pink pastel. And then little hearts on the other side. So you really could go a lot of ways with this. Look how pretty. I love it. This background, the gray, and then all the party banners on the front. And here we have these labels you can cut out if you want. They have like a jean vibe to them. On the back side, we have, it's all about love, which I think is so pretty. Background, purely a watercolor background. I love that. And all these beautiful kind of peachy tones. Flip it over and we have another gray. Looks like it reminds me of like you took a blank paper that's in black and then you added a whole bunch of doodling in white pen and then just stressed the crap out of it. It's really pretty. And then we have what I call like the project life pieces. So all these really cool little squares that you can cut up on one side, large squares, rectangular squares, small squares, tiny squares. And on the back side is just like a burlap, but it looks like burlap, but it's just paper. So that way you don't mess up the front. And on all the bottoms of the papers, they have, except for the side that had like what it said, you've got a little strip that you can cut out, which I think is so fun. So on one side, it's got the barcode and stuff. On the other side, it gives you like a little bonus. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button, and I will see you guys again later. Bye-bye.